Okay, what we're going to be doing now is fitting a few basic accessories that are pretty standard when people buy a new bike. So we're going to start off with a drink bottle cage and a pump. Now, most bikes you'll find you've got 2 bottle bosses on the down tube of the bike and 2 on the seat tube. It's easier for most people to access your water bottle on the down tube for your everyday rider. When you get into your racing bikes and your more competitive style of bike riding, you'll find they'll fit 2 drink bottles, but it's easier to get your bottle and everything out of the down tube one rather than the seat tube while you're actually riding. So we tend to just fit everything onto the down tube unless they ask specifically to have it on the seat tube. 3, 4 and 5 mil Allen bolts are the standard for the bottle bosses across most bike brands. So we just remove those 2. Just make sure that there's plenty of length on the bolts. Some suppliers only supply a very short bolt, in which case you'll find on the back of most of your pump, bracket and header cards is a spare set of bolts. So if your bolts are very short, fit the ones that are supplied with the pump to make sure you've got enough bite once you screw everything onto the down tube. So what we do here, we fit the pump on the down tube as well, always on the non-drive side. You've still got plenty of clearance from your cranks to the pump, so you've got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of clearance between the crank and the pump, so the foot of the rider isn't going to foul on that as they ride. So we take our drink bottle cage on top of the pump bracket, and that's how we're going to fit it to the bike. So then we just line them up with the bottle bosses. Goes up and just nip those up in position. Make sure everything's fine, and just make sure that the pump isn't going to foul on a drink bottle when it's actually in the cage itself. So we just want to make sure that the pump doesn't actually hit the water bottle and that the water bottle actually fits into the frame. There's 2 or 3 different sizes of water bottles we can use, so just make sure that you've got a bit of clearance there so that you can get the bottle in and out without hitting the frame. Moving on to lights. Most of your lights will have a very similar mounting attachment for the bikes. This is a clamshell bracket, just designed with a long threaded piece here, which just allows you to open the clamshell up to fit a various sizes of bars. So we just undo that. So we've got good gap in there. Okay, so clamshell over the handlebars. The bracket just fits into the bottom, and we just do that up so that we're nice and firm on that. Find the right position. Ideally, you need it about 30 degrees down towards the ground. On the back of the lights, you'll find they all have a quick release bracket, just slides off, so if you're commuting you can take that with you so it doesn't get stolen when you leave it parked or locked up out front, and it saves having to take the bracket off every time. Rear light bracket, designed to fit around your seat post or on your chain seat stays. All of your brackets will come with a number of rubber packers to take up the difference between your seat post diameters. So just play around to find out what diameter you need without overloading the clamp, so you're going to break it. Do up the clamp firmly on the seat pillar so that it doesn't actually move. Also make sure once you've got the bike out of the stand and on the ground that the light is flat and level, not pointing at the tyre, not pointing up at the seat. These clamps, a lot of them quick release again, will have the ability to spin around for whatever angle. So obviously on the back of a seat post vertically, if it's on a chain stay you can run it vertically, or if it's on the back of a carrier or something like that, you can run it horizontal. Okay, we'll fit a saddlebag now. For most people, it's one of the most common accessories people will get. Saddlebag, tyre levers, spare tube, puncture repair kit, mobile phone. Very easy to fit, but very few people get it right. So the front Velcro around the seat post. And just back on itself so it's nice and firm. The straps that are stitched onto the top of the bag need to be fed up inside of the rails and over the top. Like so, and then down under the bag through the stitching at the bottom. And then once everything's in the bag, pull down on the strap to tighten it up so nothing rattles around.